Stephen A., I'll double down with you. I mean, at some point, is it for Spike Lee? You asked the question, does it look like a spoiled celebrity? Does everybody sitting courtside get employee access elevators?
Well, you know what? First of all, the answer I assume would be no, but the issue in question is who's telling the truth about what really, really happened. Spike Lee did not sit up there and say he was informed and said, damn that, I'm not coming through the other entrance. I'm coming through the employee entrance that I've been coming through for 28 years. He said he didn't know. He was never informed. And if he was never informed and you never told him and you never picked up the phone to call him, but as he said, you're quick to pick up the phone if I'm a day late on my season ticket package, which is $3,400 per game, then something's wrong with that picture. Secondly, he's the most famous Knicks fan there is. And when you consider that, and he's saying just last Wednesday there was a play at Madison Square Garden that he was a participant in. He showed up there, rather, to support it, and he walked through that same entrance, and nobody informed him of anything. To have his ticket scanned and then to have him removed, to try to have him removed from the elevator, and then to ask him to walk around from 33rd Street to 31st Street. You know how packed that area is near around Madison Square Garden and 8th Avenue or what have you. If you're a celebrity, you're not inclined to walk through that crowd. That's just the truth. So all of those things being taken into consideration. Again, I was not there. I do not know what happened. I read the Knicks statement before and after Spike Lee's appearance on First Take. We certainly saw what Spike Lee had to say. But here's the bottom line. You're James Dolan and the Knicks, and this is what you're in the news for on the day that your president of basketball operations has been announced. This is similar to being in the news for Charles Oakley at a time you were trying to recruit prospective free agents. This is similar for you being in the news because you had a kid removed because he was asking Dolan to sell the team. And this was at a time when you were trying to pursue Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard or the Kyrie Irvings of the world to come and play with Madison Square Garden. It's almost to the point, Fitz, where it doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. It really, really matters the fact that you are the New York Knicks and you find yourself in the news because your owner, James Dolan, somehow, some way, brings his heavy hand down upon a situation where he's got security and others enforcing rules and regulations that he's implemented, which consistently takes headlines away from the New York Knicks and has their organization in the news and the headlines for the wrong damn reasons. That's really what this is about right now.
We're talking to Stephen A. Smith. First, take your take. And Stephen A., I don't disagree with anything you just said. I will point out I've been paid to play the Garden when I was a musician, and there's a specific door you're allowed to go in, and it's the only one. So I don't love the elevator argument, but you make a great point about Dolan not communicating to him. So I will ask you, what does it take for James Dolan to decide he wants to change his communication style?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, when you're a billionaire, you're a child prodigy, and you've inherited ownership, and ever since you took over the organization, it has stunk. You have a problem. And I'm a person that really, really tries to give James Dolan the benefit of the doubt. I believe for the most part, you know, he pays the money and he tries to move out the way of folks he might stick a heavy hand in from time to time. But in terms of basketball operations, he's pretty much left that up to the folks that he's put in charge. The problem is consistently the business, the structure, the fundamental infrastructure of Madison Square Garden has always gotten in the way of the Knicks. Somehow, some way. And let me tell you something right now. What Spike Lee says about security at Madison Square Garden is absolutely true. Those guys are phenomenal, those guys and ladies. I've been going to the Garden for years. I haven't been there in a while because I'm so disgusted by the New York Knicks. It makes me want to puke. But the bottom line is, for the most part, throughout my adult life and my career, I've been at Madison Square Garden. The security there is phenomenal. All of those people are first class. The sad part in saying that, and Spike Lee bringing that up, is that you have people who are literally afraid to be seen talking to Spike Lee or other people or being affectionate towards them in any way because they're fearful of repercussions from James Dolan, meaning that they think they could get fired. I reported years ago where you had players in the New York Knicks locker room that were petrified of talking to me on their own phones because they thought their phones were tapped. I don't know whether that's true or not. I'm telling you the kind of things that they were saying, the kind of things they thought and felt. That is how chaotic and paranoid being at Madison Square Garden is. And it's not because of the security. And it's not because of most of the people working under James Dolan. It's because of their fear of what James Dolan would do to them if indeed he perceived them as doing something he found unfavorable. Now, whether that's fair or not, those are the feelings that have disseminated throughout Madison Square Garden for years, but never in our wildest dreams did we believe it would ever touch Spike Lee, your number one fan, synonymous with the New York Knicks brand, who pays $3,400 per game. That's what we're dealing with, and that's what we're talking about here. And the fact that we have to have that conversation is a travesty, especially on a day when the news should have been about the fact that the New York Knicks officially have a new president of basketball operations in Leon Rose. And, oh, by the way, they actually won a damn game.
And so, Stephen A., can Leon Rose fix that culture?
No. No, he can't. No, he can't. He can help the Knicks win.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.